Salve, y'all. Sorry, not in class today. My son was playing on the playground at school and ran into another student, and they both knocked teeth, and he knocked his teeth out. And so I am running down to help Miss Hodges with Elliot at the dentist, etc., etc. So I am throwing together this sub-plan. Please, for the love of God, watch this video. It will help you with everything in class today. So if you go to It's Learning, which you are on because you're looking at this video, you'll see the 5 things I have for you guys to do today. Step 1, complete the Blue Kit vocab review. That's down here. It's all of our vocab chapters 1 through 4 and the other stuff as well. It's 128 questions. Complete the Crazy Kingdom game. Step 2, I noticed from our test and just talking that we need to review verbs and our verb endings. I'll go over the endings here in a second, and you guys will do the quizzes. Retake this until you make a 90 or above. Make sure when you sign in that you use your name so I know who to give credit to. I will later in this video finish the dictatio of Profuga Praemium Volt, where you guys will try and write down what I'm saying. And I will also go over the notes that we were going to do today over the second declension neuter nouns. You will grab a note sheet from the top shelf in order to complete this. And then lastly, you guys have a partner reading activity of the story Profuga Praemium Volt, which is what we did our dictatio over. You will find 2 half worksheets, one labeled A and one labeled B on the second and third shelves respectively. You're going to need a partner for this. One partner is going to get sheet A, the other one's going to get sheet B. And let's see if I can find it. Okay. Partner A will have, this will be, one second, I'll do it this way. Sorry, we're doing this on the fly because, you know. Let's insert a row above and make it A, and insert another row above and make it B. We're going to center those bad boys. It's compelling stuff. Okay, so print these out. You're going to find one labeled A. One partner gets A, one partner gets B. Partner A will start by reading out this passage without letting partner B see it. It'll be partner B's job to fill in these blanks. There's 1 or 2 blanks in each sentence. The partner A can help them sounding it out. Don't just give them the answers. Actually read the sentences out loud as best you can. And partner B, try your best to write it in. You don't lose points for getting it wrong. All I want you to do is just try. Okay, and then after this section's done, then you go down to the bottom. Partner A will be filling in the blanks while partner B reads. And when you're done with that, you're done. So let's go back here. Let me kind of start from the top. Okay, let's talk about verbs real quick. Let's go back to chapter 2. This is all about verbs and their endings. And the 6 endings are o, s, t, mus, tis, and uns. Just going to find the actual notes we did so you guys actually have that like in front of you so you can see it. If this is something that you're still confused about, definitely pause this video here and write these things down. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to use this screen and just show you all as an example. So here's the verb that you're given, amo, amare, amawi, amatus. We're only worried about these first 2 parts right here. Remember, the first principal part of a verb is just the first person singular, meaning I blank. So amo will just go right here, I love. Amare is the infinitive version, meaning to love. So if you see O at the end, it means I'm doing it. If you see RE at the end, that means to blank. So you'll see the endings down here. I have it fully conjugated, first, second, and third person, singular and plural. First person singular, amo, I love. Second person singular, amas, meaning you love. Third person singular, amat, meaning he, she, or it loves. Amamus, first person plural, meaning we love. Amatis, y'all love, second person plural. And then amant, third person plural, they love. The 6 endings, o, s, t, mus, tis, und. Very important to remember. And it's those endings change the subject. So if you need to write this down as an example for the quizzes, this would be the information you want, the 6 different endings, as well as the RE ending and what it means. Okay. and the quizzes is linked on its learning. Take that until you get a 90 or above. Okay, so its next step is to finish the dictatio of profuga praemium vult. So until you finish the quizzes, pause this video, and when you're done, come back, get out your dictatio sheet from yesterday, and I'll be doing the dictatio of profuga praemium vult here for you. Okay, let me go find it. Look at all these tabs. Here, I'll pause this until I get it. All right, this is what we were doing yesterday. Sorry, I accidentally paused myself again. So this is what we were doing yesterday. We'll go back over these. I think we did the first two, and then we'll do the third one. Pyrrhus rex praeclarus bellum cum Romanis gerit. Pyrrhus, a famous king, wages bellum gerit, wages war cum Romanis, with the Romans. Okay. So Pyrrhus is a Greek king, and he really wants to fight the Romans. We'll talk more about this war later because it's kind of funny. All right, number 2. Fabricius est consul et dux Romanorum. Fabricius is a consul and the general of the Romans. As a reminder, a consul is just a consul. It is basically a Roman president. They had 2 of these every year, elected to 1-year terms, and there were 2. So 2 dudes elected to 1-year terms named consul, and they were also in charge of the armies. So Fabricius is the consul and the general of the Romans. And then the third one, which I think we did yesterday. Profuga e castris Pyrrhi ad Romanos clam fugit. So there's some words here that you guys didn't know, starting with fugit, like a fugitive is someone who runs away. Fugit is a verb meaning runs or flees. A profuga is someone who runs or flees from the military, aka a deserter. So the deserter flees clam, secretly, e castris Pyrrhi, out of Pyrrhus's camp, ad Romanos, to the Romans. So someone deserts from the Greek army and tries to go to the Romans. The next part is the one you're going to write down. So get your pencil ready. I'm going to say this out loud 3 times. Pause it if you need to and try and write down what I'm saying. Honor system, I'm trusting you. And we're going to, and then you can keep playing, and then you can check yourself, and then we'll translate it. Okay, so number 4 is a quote. It says, Si praemium mihi das, comma, Pyrrhum veneno neco. Si praemium mihi das, Pyrrhum veneno neco. There's some words in there y'all don't know. That's okay. I'm going to say it one more time. Si praemium mihi das, Pyrrhum veneno neco. All right, pause this, write it down. When you're ready to see the answer, hit unpause. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Si praemium mihi das, Pyrrhum veneno neco. If you give a reward to me, or if you give me a reward, Neko is a verb that you guys don't know. It means to kill, so that's fun. Ends with an O, so who's doing it? I will kill Pyrrhus veneno, with poison. Fun. Okay. Next one, number 5, starting now. Fabricius autem victoriam nolo habere non vult. Fabricius autem victoriam dolo habere non vult. Fabricius autem victoriam dolo habere non vult. Pause this, try and write it down. You can go back and play it if you want. 3, 2, 1. Answer. Fabricius, however, does not want to have victory by a trick or with a trick. Basically, he wants to win fair and square. He doesn't want to have a guy sneak into Pyrrhus's camp and kill him. And so that's the 5 sentences to kind of get us started on this story. Hopefully you found that helpful. There are a lot of words that we don't know, but we're going to learn them. That's what this whole process is all about. But that's your dictatio. So, yes, second declension neuter nouns presentation and practice. Go grab the notes off the top shelf. It's a 2-page packet stapled together. Profuga, and then we'll do the partner reading activity after. Okay. So pause this, go grab it, and when you're back, and when you're ready, come on back. And yeah. Okay. So the second declension nouns are usually masculine in gender. Sometimes they can be neuter. And we haven't talked a lot about gender. We haven't talked a lot about gender in grammar yet, and we're going to talk a lot more about it in this chapter. Just know for now that there are 3 grammatical genders in Latin: feminine, masculine, and neuter. Okay. First declension nouns are typically feminine. There are some masculine ones. Typically words that represent jobs are masculine, even if they're first declension. All the other ones are feminine. They end with A, very similar to Spanish. Second declension, in the last unit, we learned about the second declension, and those are second declension masculine words. They're all masculine. I think there's like 1 or 2 exceptions where it's technically feminine, but it's not a huge deal. What we're going to learn today about is when a noun is second declension, but it's neuter. It's very, very similar to the second declension masculine. There's just 2 differences, and we're going to talk about those today. So I'm going to kind of skip over the review just in the interest of time because I only got 4 minutes left on this recording. So I'm going to skip over that. This is just a review of the important definitions, all the different cases. If you don't remember this stuff, I have old videos that'll go over this, and I can explain this to you at another time, but I'm going to get to the meat of it. So, and we know a declension is a family of nouns, shares similar patterns of endings. We're focusing on the second declension neuter. So, first off, let's talk about how to figure out if a noun is second declension masculine or neuter. First off, you can find the gender of any noun in its vocabulary entry simply by looking at this little letter that follows it. If it's an N, if it's followed by an N, that means it's neuter. If it's followed by an M, that means it's masculine. If it's followed by an F, that means it's feminine. So right there, it can just tell you. But also there are some patterns you can see. So there are no first declension neuter nouns. The first declension is just the first declension. There is no like alternative version of it. Second declension masculine is typically what you see. You'll notice it by the I at the end of the genitive. Typically here at the end of the nominative, you'll see a US. Sometimes you'll see an R. When it's neuter, though, when it's second declension and part of the neuter noun, or neuter gender, it will follow this pattern. First off, you'll see the second principal part ends with I. That's what makes it second declension. But the nominative singular, the first principal part, will always end with um. It'll look accusative, even though it's nominative. And that's one of the key features of the neuter, is that the nominative and accusative cases always look the same, which is fun, frustrating. Either way. So if you see if you see followed by I in the first 2 principal parts, that means it's second declension neuter. If you don't see in the first principal part, but you see I in the second principal part, that means it's second declension masculine. Okay. So I in the second, masculine. Followed by I, neuter. That's the difference. Okay. So here's an example of a second declension masculine noun. You'll see the endings here. Us, I, o, o. I, orum, is, os, is, right? That's what we did last time. You guys did really well on that on the test. Here's the neuter. Pause this when I put it up and see if you can spot the differences between the 2. Us, I, o, I, orum, is, os, is. Then here we got I, o, a, orum, is, a, is. You'll notice here that the major differences are in the nominative and accusative cases, both singular and plural. Monstrum is the nominative singular, and the second is the nominative singular second declension neuter ending, and it looks the same as the accusative. Monstrum, monstrum, monstrum. I, o. You'll notice when it becomes plural, monstrum turns into monstra, as opposed to the second declension masculine, which goes from us to I and has an I there. You'll notice this goes a. A, orum, is, a, is. The nominative and the accusative are the same, but when they're plural, they end with the letter A. And that's the other key feature of the neuter. And that's the only other difference. And that's basically it. I have some practice for you guys at the bottom. Try and decline those 3 words following the steps. We'll go over that in class tomorrow. I only got 20 seconds left. All right. So, yeah, we'll deal with all that later. Whee! Okay. So your reading activity, like I said, the things are here. I've already explained it. It's on the 2nd and 3rd shelf. Godspeed. Please, for the love of God, watch this video. Please, for the love of God, do this stuff. I don't want to have to go over it tomorrow. Much love. Walete.